Hi everyone, this is a short video on EasyBand Studio. EasyBand Studio is a new application for musicians running on the Android platform. I'm going to start it. It's going to take a few seconds to load. And here we go. This is the demo song. Let's take a look at what we have here. Right here at the top you can see the notes and chord buttons. Here in the middle you can see the timeline. Right beneath it the parts and song buttons and the zoom button. And finally at the bottom we have the garbage can, the play button, the name of the current project, the currently selected style, and the tempo. Let's start by creating a new project. I'm going to click menu and then new, and then I'm gonna drag some chords into the timeline. So I want to start by the C chord and add another E7 chord. I'm gonna drag the E and then I'm gonna drop the 7 on it, and I want an F chord and an F minor 7, so I'm gonna drag the F and then the minor 7 right on top of it. I'm gonna add some more chords later, but let's see how you move and resize chords here on the timeline. So in order to change the length or to move chords or delete them, you need to first select the chord. You tap a chord to select it, you tap it again to unselect. Once a chord is selected, you can do two things. You can move it around and you can extend it. So once a chord is selected, just drag it left or right to extend it. If you drag it from the bottom right here where you see those two lines, you can move it around, put it wherever you want, and of course once it's selected you can always drop it into the garbage can to delete it. So I'm gonna bring this chord back and I'm gonna add some more chords to complete this part. I'm gonna add the C, the G, another C, and a G. So this is my complete part. I'm gonna click zoom out to see the entire part and select a nice gentle style, for example this one, and I'm gonna click play. Okay, let's say I want to add another part to this song. To this project, I'm gonna move to part number 2 by clicking part number 2, and I'm gonna start dragging some chords into the timeline. I'm gonna drag a DM, so I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna drag the D chord and a minor right on top of it, and then I'm gonna drag the E chord and turn it into a 7, and then I'm gonna drag A minor, an F, and another D minor, another E7, and 2 A minors. Again, I'm gonna zoom out to see the entire part, and that's basically it. I got my two parts. One starts with a C chord and the other with a D minor, and now I want to compile those two parts into a song. And so I'm gonna head to the song editor, and instead of dragging chords into the timeline, I'm gonna start dragging parts into the timeline. So I'm gonna start by dragging part number 1, and then I'm gonna drag part number 2 into the timeline, and I'm gonna click the zoom button to see the actual chords. And this is my song. That's basically it. I can click play and start hearing this song. Okay, let's save this project and continue with talking about variants. I'm gonna move to part number 2. Let's say I want to add a more lively sound to part number 2, so I'm gonna go to the instruments toolbar, and here you can see in the second line you can see the various variations EasyBand support. You got the intro variants, variation number 1, variation number 2, fill number 1, fill number 2, and ending. So let's say I want to turn part number 2 into a more lively part. So I'm going to drag the var number 2. I can just drag it on top of and drop it on every chord here, but I can also drag var number 2 on the actual part to turn the entire part into variant number 2. And let's see how this sounds. Okay, while I'm at here, I can also drag fill number 2 to the last A minor here to make a better ending for this part. I'm gonna do the same thing for part number 1. I'm gonna drag fill number 1 into the last G chord right here. So let's see how it sounds in the song editor. If you take a closer look, you can see here that part number 1 is the last G chord in part number 1 is marked with fill 1, and the last A minor is marked with fill number 2. Of course, the entire part 2 is marked as variant number 2. So let's change the tempo to something. Let's set it a bit higher and click play. As you can see, this song is cut very poorly at the end. So I'm gonna add another part to it to make its ending a little bit more smooth, a little smoother. I'm gonna click part number 3, and I'm gonna end this song with a C chord, but I'm gonna mark it as an ending. And now I'm gonna drag part number 3. I'm gonna zoom out again to the end of the song. If I'm going to zoom in again, you can see that part number 3 is a C marked as an end with the ending variation. So let's start by playing the song from part 2 and see how it sounds. Okay, that's it.